Peace to everybody. This is why Fauci should quit. Good thing. Let me help Fauci pack his stuff and escort him to the curb. That would make it a whole lot easier. We're tired of Anthony Fauci making up all these excuses. Oh, well, this and that and blah, blah, blah. No, Fauci, it's time for you to leave permanently. And as you can see, here's Fauci holding his face in that. So, Fauci is about to needs to be booted to the curb for what he's doing, lying to everybody. It is time for Dr. Anthony Fauci to quit government. Indeed, resigning might be the best thing he can do for the country's public health, not to mention his own dignity. Yeah, so it is time for Anthony Fauci to quit government. So it's time for him to go. It's time for him to move on. Indeed, resigning might be the best thing he can do for the country's public health. Yeah, it's time for him to go. It's time for him to go back to his basement where he came from, because, he lies so much. And not to mention his own dignity. Yeah, his own dignity had no credibility with the coronavirus, and it just did not make any sense whatsoever. Back in the early days of the pandemic, when President Trump was still veering wildly between wanting to be seen as combating COVID-19 and urging the reopening of the U.S. economy, Fauci's presence on the coronavirus task force and often at the podium in the White House press room offered reassurance to Americans that Trump was taking expert advice. There was a trade-off. Fauci was used as a fig leaf for Trump's incompetence, but he got to use the presidential bullhorn to warn the country against taking the virus lightly. Well, wait a minute. Donald Trump wasn't incompetent at all. He just went along with it because the Democrats are surrounding him every day, telling him what to do, this and that. And Donald Trump does not listen to these Democrats whatsoever. Donald Trump's got a brain. He uses it. He knows what he's doing. And of course, it says back in the early days of the pandemic, when President Trump was still veering widely between wanting to be seen as combating COVID-19 and urging the reopening of the U.S. economy. Well, excuse me, but the economy is already booming, and all the Democrats are mad about it, and now they want to try to destroy it again. No, that's not going to happen. Fauci's presence on the coronavirus task force and often at the podium in the White House press room offered reassurance to Americans that Trump was taking expert advice. No, he was not. Trump was not taking experts' advice from Fauci. There was no such thing at all. All Fauci was doing was say, oh, you got to wear a mask, you got to do this, you got to do that. But then when Fauci gets caught with taking his face mask off, hello, then I knew that he was lying. And of course, there was a trade-off. Fauci was used as a fig leaf for Trump's incompetence. No, Fauci was not used as a fig leaf. That was a lie, too. In October of 2017, Fauci said that the next administration is going to be seeing the pandemic. Yeah, it saw the pandemic, all right. The fake news media, that's what happened. But he got to use the presidential bullhorn. What presidential bullhorn was Trump supposed to be using? I never saw him with one. Every time I watched Donald Trump's speeches, I never saw a bullhorn. Not one single bullhorn anywhere in his speeches. So where are they getting this from now? To warn the country against taking the virus lightly. Excuse me, but there is no virus. It's a lie. It's a scam. And people are falling for the fake propaganda mess. Seriously? But as for Donald Trump using a bullhorn, no, he has not. I never saw him using a bullhorn in his speeches. That's all lies. That is no longer the case. The president has eventually given up on battling the pandemic, choosing instead to declare victory, even as cases and deaths surge across the country. That's impossible because Donald Trump is getting briefed daily by his press secretaries and that about the virus. And for Donald Trump to choosing instead to declare victory, no, he didn't. Even as cases and deaths surge across the country. What deaths and what cases? All fake cases, all fake deaths. And of course, they're saying the president has eventually given up on the battling of the pandemic. No, he hasn't. He has not given up at all. Meanwhile, recent days have brought ample evidence that Trump has silenced an undetermined Fauci, who continues mostly behind the scenes to argue for a cautious approach to reopening the country. His fact-based precedent about the country's progress against the coronavirus has provided too stark a contrast with Trump's magical thinking. Well, Donald Trump does have a mind of his own, and he's allowed to think for himself. He's a free thinker. He can say whatever he wants. He doesn't need approval from Fauci or anybody. And of course, they're going to say sideline silence and undermine Fauci, who continues. Yeah, Fauci's undermining Donald Trump because Donald Trump don't want to hear no more about this virus thing. He's tired of it. And of course, the people, his administration is keeping him briefed daily, mostly behind the scenes. Oh, what is Fauci doing behind the scenes? Oh yeah, knowing Fauci, he's probably saying behind the scenes every day, yeah, I fooled a lot of people. I scared a lot of people. I've let them believe that the virus is real when it's not. That's probably what Fauci is saying behind the scenes when you don't realize it. And then when Fauci gets caught on a video taking his face mask off, hello? Doesn't that tell you something? So Trump and his allies have chosen to discredit Fauci instead of listen to him, sending a list of his errors to journalists and publicly criticizing him. Well, I wouldn't blame Donald Trump for sending the journalists a list of errors to the journalists, because we know Fauci's been lying for months. And then when Fauci finally drops off somewhere, not being seen, then all of a sudden he pops back up, starting his garbage again, saying, "Oh, I'm gonna trick the people again. I'm gonna make them believe the virus is real." Excuse me, Fauci, sir. And that's what happened. Dr. Fauci is a nice man, but he's made a lot of mistakes, Trump told Sean Hannity last week, while telling another interviewer that he disagreed with Fauci's attitude. "I think we are in a good place," the president said. No, Fauci's not a nice man at all. Why is the fake news media lying about it? And Trump told Sean Hannity last week, okay, where's that video somewhere floating around? I haven't seen it. He doesn't like Fauci at all. He does not like Fauci. No, 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 no. And this is while telling another interviewer that he disagreed with Fauci's attitude. Well, I would too, because Fauci does have an attitude problem. Saying, oh yeah, we're gonna make the world shut down with the fake virus. We're gonna get everybody to quit their jobs. We're gonna get everybody to lose their jobs. They get to stay home, yes, while we rule the world. Yeah, okay, Fauci. Nice try, but your lies are not working this time. Also, allegedly, the president says, I think we are in a good place. The president said, yes, because the economy is booming again. He wants to reopen the schools, but the Democrats are saying, no, you cannot reopen the schools. But Donald Trump is not going to listen to any of the Democrats because he knows they're evil. He knows that they're lying. He knows he could call them radical left. He knows all about of them lying. Dr. Fauci has a good bedside manner with the public, but he has been wrong about everything I have ever interacted with him on. Peter Navarro, Trump's trade advisor, told the Washington Post, judge accordingly. Navarro used his Sunday morning TV appearance to suggest that China purposely unleashed the COVID-19 virus on the world, even though scientists believe the virus developed on its own. Well, how can a virus develop on its own if it's a man-made virus? Think about it. And then Dr. Fauci has a good bedside manner. No, he does not. He has a terrible bedside manner, telling people, oh, you gotta wear a mask. You can't go out. You can't do this. You can't do that. The vaccines are coming real soon. Da-da-da. Excuse me? The only way you can get a virus, it has to be injected in you voluntarily. And of course, but he has been wrong about everything. Yes, he has been wrong about everything. Fauci doesn't know what he's doing. He's saying he thinks he knows everything about the vaccines, this and that. No. He doesn't know nothing about the vaccines. This is why he lied so much, making millions off of people just to and people are falling for his garbage, saying, oh, well, I did it. Yeah, shut up, Fauci. Fauci, meanwhile, told the Financial Times last week that he had not briefed Trump for 2 months. The White House has also reportedly prevented him from making appearances on TV. Well, I wouldn't put Fauci on TV either. But Fauci hasn't had has not briefed Trump for 2 months. So that means May 2nd was the last time instead of June 2nd. So 2 months. This is 3 months that Fauci has not briefed Trump on anything. So because Donald Trump don't want to hear it. He knows it's a false flag. So actually, it's 3 months since May. So why are they saying 2 months for? I have a reputation, as you probably have figured out, of speaking the truth at all times and not sugarcoating things. And that may be one of the reasons why I haven't been on television very much lately, Fauci told the FT. Well, we don't want to see Fauci on TV no more. We're sick of it. We don't want to see him anywhere except Gitmo. That's the only place he needs to be at. And then he talks about, oh, I have a reputation. What reputation does Fauci have? Lying to people? Because that's the only reputation he's got, is lying. It is true that Fauci has been wrong about some things during the pandemic. Most notably, he discouraged Americans from wearing masks during the first weeks of the national lockdown. He also admitted the error and reversed course in the face of new and additional facts. That's what scientists do. Well, apparently, Fauci is a fake scientist. And then he said, oh, he also admitted the error and reversed course in the face of new and additional facts. No, he's been using the same tactics over and over. Also, they said most notably he discouraged Americans from wearing masks. No, he did not. He suggested that Americans wear masks. Who is he to tell a lie that he discouraged them? Between him, Bill Gates, and everybody else, they're all liars. They all say, oh, you gotta wear a mask. You gotta wear a mask. Excuse me? That goes against the Constitution of forcing somebody wearing a mask. More importantly, Fauci has been perhaps the country's most credible voice on how to contain the virus, warning against the temptation to reopen the country too quickly, squashing improbable prudential notions of miracles, cure, and pleading for continued social distancing. Well, I say the social distancing is a little ridiculous. It's called socialism. That's what it's called. Fauci has been perhaps the country's most credible voice. No, he has not. He's not credible at all. Fauci is definitely not credible on how to contain the virus. How is he going to contain the virus? Vaccines? Is that what he wants? Because it sure looks like it. I suggest that he be the first person to get the vaccine. I'm voting for that one. Warning against the temptation to reopen the country. But Donald Trump wants the country reopened and people can go back to work. That's what Trump wants. And here the Democrats, they're stopping you from going back to work. They're saying, oh, you can't go back to work. You got to stay home. You got to wear a mask wherever you go. Da-da-da. Excuse me? No. Miracle cures? What miracle cures? There are no miracle cures. And pleading for continued social distancing. Well, like I said, the social distancing is called socialism. That's what it is right now. Oh, you gotta stay 6 feet apart from this person, that person, and everything. You can't go around your family, this and that. Excuse me? Who died and left him boss? For this, he has been treated with derision by public officials across the country as they work impossibly for a return to normalcy that probably can't happen until a vaccine emerges or effective treatments for COVID-19 are made available. There's never going to be a vaccine made available, and I promise you that right now. It's a lie. Bill Gates over there, he wants everybody, the entire world, to be vaccinated. No, that's not going to happen. Because Bill Gates thinks, oh, well, we're just going to depopulate this and that. Yeah, okay, depopulate yourself into a gitmo. But all these vaccines are man-made. Literally. So there is no vaccine for COVID-19. So what Fauci did, he allegedly used the virus as a bioweapon. That's what he did, to kidnap everybody in the world. And that's exactly what he did. So don't let him try to fool you saying, oh, there's going to be a vaccine soon. Because there isn't. Clearly, we are not in total control right now, Fauci told the Senate in late June. The weeks since then have confirmed that analysis had revealed that President's happy talk to be hollow and dangerous. How is Donald Trump hollow and dangerous when he knows there's no such virus? But even though the fake news media making him look like, oh, there's vaccines, there's this and that. Excuse me? And of course, clearly we are not in total control right now, Fauci told the Senate. Well, of course they're not in control because they're all full of garbage, saying, oh, well, we're this and that. Excuse me? The doctor is more than a public relations mouthpiece. As director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, he plays a key role in overseeing the development of a vaccine and treatments for the coronavirus, but his best and perhaps most effective role during this crisis has been as a sober voice urging Americans to be on guard. It may not be a coincidence that as Fauci has receded from public view, Americans' caution has ebbed and COVID cases have surged. No, the COVID cases have not surged. That's a lie. All right. Also, they're saying that the doctor is more than a public relations mouthpiece. Yeah, his motor mouth doesn't know when to shut up. That's how I feel about Dr. Fauci. He's got a motor mouth. As director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease. So, he thinks he's a director. No, he's not. He plays a key role in overseeing development of a vaccine and treatments for the coronavirus, but his best and perhaps most effective role during this crisis. Yeah, tricking everybody because they lie and they are evil. They use ideology to trick people, saying, oh yeah, well, we did this and did that. But his best and honestly, American also effective role during this crisis has been as a sober voice. I don't think Fauci has a sober voice. I think Fauci's been hitting the bottle a little too much lately. Urging Americans to be on guard. Well, us Americans, we're always on guard because we know we're not going to fall for it. Americans are not going to fall for a vaccine to say, oh, well, we're going to No. Nobody's going to want Bill Gates' vaccine. And so Fauci should quit. I agree. Fauci should just get off the task force, saying, yeah, goodbye. And everybody help him pack his bags and kick him to the curb. Say, night-night. Quitting would allow Fauci to speak to the public more freely about the ongoing health crisis than he can now. Even without an official portfolio, he would almost certainly still be welcome on any news network, podcast, YouTube channel, or newspaper op-ed page to sound the alarm and make the case for what he believes is the correct approach to containing the pandemic. He wouldn't even have to criticize Trump directly. Oh, whoa, hold it right there. Criticize Trump directly? That's what all he's been doing is criticizing him. And now they're saying he would almost certainly be welcomed on any news network. In other words, the fake news media that are biased now, podcasts, YouTube channel. I wouldn't even watch Dr. Fauci on YouTube channel because who knows what lies he'll be telling. or newspaper? Excuse me, Fauci, sir. You mean to tell me that you're going to go to CNN, where Lemonhead and Fredo are? Yeah, okay. Nice going with that one. Fauci wants to make himself known on CNN with Fredo and Lemonhead. Excuse me? Alright, Trump directly, since he clearly seems adverse to doing so, but he would have the freedom to offer his best advice to the American public, who right now seem more willing than the president to take Fauci seriously. Well, of course Trump is not taking Fauci seriously. He knows Fauci is lying and giving all these fake reports. How many times has Donald Trump been calling out the fake news? Oh, well, they're and he gave them a warning about the fake news media slandering him. So now Fauci wants to go to CNN, Fox, and whatever other MSNBC, MSDNC, all radical or all fake news media and everything else. Donald Trump is not going to take Fauci seriously. Many state and local health officials across the country have faced death threats and vicious personal attacks from the crime of trying to keep their citizens alive by cementing scientific information that is terrible. Unlike those officials, Fauci is poisoned to affect the public, discouraged even after he leaves government. For the sake of America's health, he should do so. Yeah, Fauci should leave the government for the sake of Americans, because all these lies that he tells and everything else, yeah, Fauci, pack up your bags and get out, please. We don't want to hear from you no more. We're tired of it. Please, Fauci, pack up your bags and leave. You're free to leave. Go. Goodbye. We're done with you and all these lies. And of course, you got many state and local health officials across the country have faced death threats and vicious personal attacks for the crime of trying to keep their citizens alive by disseminating scientific information, which is false science, by the way, because that's what Fauci is a false science, a false prophet. He's saying, oh, well, Fauci's saying, oh, well, we're this and that and that. Oh, shut up, Fauci. Pack your bags. You're free to leave. And nobody's believing Fauci anymore. They all know he's lying. Excuse me, Fauci, but you're free to leave now. Go have your banana split or whatever it is you're eating, and then get out of our country. You're free to go. Leave your comments below. I am out.